Welcome to part 2 of the Multiplication Foundation series. In this video, we'll look at multiplication as understanding equal groups. This is a practical guide to helping children recognize and make equal groups. As per usual, this is paired with a child-friendly video for shared learning. This video is part 2 of a series. And if you're interested, you can check out our Introduction to Multiplication. You can check out Part 3, How Repeated Addition Builds Multiplication Skills. Part 4, which looks at skip counting. And Parts 5 and 6 look at arrays. In this video, we will look at making equal groups. We will look at using the right language. And we will look at moving from real objects to pictures. And finally, we'll look at some practical tips for home. So who am I? My name is Adele Kelly. I'm an Irish primary school teacher with over 15 years experience. And I am passionate about making maths accessible for all children in primary school, particularly children with dyscalculia and dyslexia, or children for whom English is not their first language. When should we teach multiplication through equal groups? Multiplication with equal groups is one of the first steps in teaching multiplication. Children need lots of practice with concrete materials and manipulatives. The teaching point for teaching multiplication through equal groups is firstly, groups must be equal. This is very important for children to understand and for them to be able to recognize what it is that sets multiplication apart from addition or from other operations. So children need to become familiar with multiplication as repeated addition of the same amount. And again, remember, some children might need more practice than others. The language of multiplication. So these words help children to talk about multiplication when we're looking at groups. The first, which children may be familiar with, is times. 3 groups of 6 or 3 times 6. The next, which has the same meaning, is multiply. I can multiply 3 by 6. The next is skip counting, obviously groups, and repeated addition. And then finally, children also need to understand arrays, which we'll look at in more detail in a later video. So effective maths teaching goes from the concrete to the pictorial to the abstract. So it's important for children to be able to move their understanding from real things through to pictures and then through to just sums on the page. Children move through these stages at different speeds. Dots can be helpful when we're making that transition from real things, and it is useful for helping children who might find maths difficult to conceptualize the sums that we are talking about. So a couple of tips for home are using concrete materials like pasta, Lego, modeling the language. For example, I have 3 plates with 4 pieces of pasta on each. That means I have 3 groups of 4, or 3 times 4, or 3 multiplied by 4. If your child is ready to move on, you can introduce arrays, introduce skip counting, and repeated addition. If you'd like to know more, subscribe to my YouTube channel for explainer videos on key maths topics, or you can visit my website www.improvingmaths.com to find matching worksheets, helpful resources, and blog posts, all designed to support a strong foundation in maths.